website, to be honest with you.
Stop it. You were not selling it before you got your allocations.
I put some up. I put like 20 boxes up.
Buying them right now before you take it down. Hold on, let me get my Chick-fil-A cup a little out of the way there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to Metazoo be with you, America's #1 TCG podcast. I am joined by the man who has seen more floods than Noah, Louis DeGeorge.
What is up? How are you guys? Oh, they can't see us. They can't hear us. How are you, George?
Great. You're doing great.
I'm doing great.
I'm doing a great start.
I'm doing great. It's gonna be awesome. Gonna be a great podcast. Super stoked to be here.
At least you've been focused on the podcast and nice and cool and calm and ready to give your well thought out thoughts the last 2 weeks in a row. That's what I care about, buddy. Thank you.
This is gonna be a wild one. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. I didn't tell you about the last topic because you were taking a pee break before we set up. So
when you're my age, you're about to do those.
So we're gonna talk about TCGs. We're super glad you're here. Thank you for watching. We're gonna do a Genesis spoiler, which is gonna be super cool. We're going to talk about Flesh and Blood, the new set. We're going to talk about my sale this week and some of the data for that. We're going to talk about predictions for the set. We're going to talk about our pre-release. We're going to do Double Masters is Double Trouble.
Who's double fudding?
We're going to talk about how important Charizards are in Pokemon.
Oh my God.
We're going to do Genesis spoiler. We're going to do a final goodbye to Channel Fireball. And then we're going to talk about a decrease in Metazoo spend. So it's going to be, that's the one I added.
I don't know what that means.
I want to talk about. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll get there. When we get there, we can chat about it. So let's talk about Uprising. What are your predictions for the Uprising release, George?
It'll be good. I think I think everybody now has their allocations. We got ours yesterday, so we're filming this on Thursday.
Yes, we did.
Wow, what a sigh!
We did it, baby! Lord. I finally got boxes. I've been complaining for a year and a half that I haven't been able to get boxes, and I got everything I asked for. So it's great.
I'm proud of you.
Yes, I'm proud of me too.
They must know you're a really big deal.
Now we find out if I can sell them. Yeah.
Everybody asked me, George, like, how do you handle this? I'm like, well, there's two parts of this: getting boxes and selling boxes. You got to be good at both.
Yeah. So it's good. We had my sale last night. I think I'm like 65% sold out or something like that.
So Louis, where can they find an incredible deal on Uprising boxes?
Well, I've got my boxes, at map pricing on the website, CavDainsMarket.com.
Wait, Louis, is there a special deal for patrons?
There is a special deal for patrons.
Really?
I can't advertise it, but it is available to patrons. So patrons can.
But there's a better deal if you're a patron. Is that
right?
So,
yeah, there's a better deal. And actually, on my website, you get 5% back in store credit on any purchases already. So it's cool. It's called CavDains Credits. Yeah, it's fun.
God. Are we doing Cryptic Corner CavDains Credits?
Yeah, Cryptic Corner CavDains Credits. That's great. So it's cool. I think the sale's going good. I think people are excited for the set. There's definitely. I was surprised to not get cut though on my
so I don't want to say anything yet because I have a bad feeling something went haywire.
Yeah.
The last set let's be very intentional. One distributor did not cut us at all.
Oh yeah, one distributor still, and my rep still dropped the ball. His account has no pre-orders for Uprising.
My rep from that distributor did not drop the ball, and I got cut, which is normal. I get cut on every product. I thought the last product I got no cuts on from any distributor was Battle Styles from Pokemon.
Nice,
literally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the business. Is like you got to guess a number and pray they cut you to the number you actually want. That's the biz. When I got the call yesterday that there were no cuts, I was like, well, that's interesting. Right. That's good, I think. I think it's interesting. It
may just be our office, like, because other people.
It's definitely our office. The Northeast, I know, got cut. I know the Midwest got cut. In fact, I know it's only our office.
Yeah. So super interesting, but great. So I'm stoked. This is what I've been working for. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you, Louis.
This is like now the test of is this all,
Is my life worth it or not? Have I built anything with this hollow shell of a life or not? Should I go back to work?
Or do I need to, fill the walls that are leaking in my basement with some Uprising boxes to help the structure?
Either way, win-win.
Yeah, we'll see. So it's good. I'm stoked about it. Patrons, make sure you check your Patreon if you want boxes, and if you're not a patron and you want to support.
If you're not a patron, what are you doing with your life?
What
have you done?
You're not a patron, so what are you doing with your life?
I'm nobody's patron. Patreon is so stupid.
Yeah.
Here, give a stranger $5.
I think
go work.
I think that the set has a lot going for it. It'll be really interesting to see the actual pull rates of the Marvels. I'm actually working on a video that's probably going to go live today that we're filming. Drop it right here, baby. Pump that video. But that talking about the pull rates of the iconic cards for Flesh and Blood and Metazoo and Pokemon and Magic. So comparing like the Black Lotus pull rates and comparing the Charizard pull rates per box and kind of stuff like that. And I actually think that there's a lot of wins to a easier to pull card in the long term. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. So I think the Marvels not being like stupid hard to pull is probably a good thing. We'll see if they balanced it out enough or if they're like too easy to pull. It's gonna be super interesting to see how the market reacts to that stuff.
The EV is like $10,000.
Well, yeah, but like it's still
that's great.
The boxes haven't released yet.
Boxes are $80, and your EV video had like $400.
I know.
That's Candy Town, son.
Everyone take your free $400.
You gotta be crazy.
We all know those aren't actual sold prices. It's just tracking the pre-release prices.
We all know it's not actual sold prices because they're on your tracker. Good point, Louis.
Stop
so
it.
The how did your pre-release
tracker
go?
Like the tracker? So we need to do the conversation right now is like, is the tracker still worth it?
That's the only reason I'm a patron.
You're not
and I also don't use the tracker. You've sent it to me 10,000 times. I don't know how to use it.
The collection tracker is sweet,
you.
but like the arcane sales, they're so few and far between. It's like the videos.
Because it's so incredibly rare. None of the cards ever come to market.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you about to say?
How'd your pre-release go?
It was great. Wait, do you want to make final predictions?
Sure. What?
Let's make final predictions for Uprising.
What are we predicting?
I don't know. You did Mon to 1K. Give me a box of.
This will not be 1K by the end of the year. This will not be worth more than Crew unless Crew has a really hard year.
Give me if Uprising is ever worth more than Crew, something drastically wrong.
They're all worth the same. That is the only way it's worth more.
Where do you see a box of Uprising in a year?
$80.
Okay. That's where I am. I think it'll be between 80 and 100, depending on how they do the waves. I think people need to realize that I think I've noticed this with my patrons' purchases. So I did a limit of 16 boxes, right? Spoiler alert.
My store is limit of 250 boxes. I got to draw the line somewhere, guys. Okay.
Spoiler alert. Nobody's buying 16 boxes.
So I talked to Tyler, America's favorite LGS's favorite manager, one you stole your idea for the Commander League from, in case you don't know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
And like he is convinced this is going to be a singles set. Now he's a singles guy, so part of this is bias. But like I think like people like this is now Magic, right? People like you don't crack boxes of Magic to get the card you want. You call somebody and buy the card you want or trade for it.
Especially if that box is Commander Legends.
Why hurt? Why hurt? We're not suffering enough without you mocking us?
No, my new thing with Commander Legends is I'm just eating it, man. I opened four more boxes of collector boosters yesterday because I don't want to sell this. I don't want to sell the boxes for a loss. I'd rather sell the singles for a loss. Yeah, it's just it helps my brain. At least I got to do something with the boxes. Like at least I got to open them and enjoy.
What I do every night.
At least I got to open them.
Is I pray that they sell. I wake up more depressed that they didn't sell. Then I go to bed and pray that they sell. Repeat.
Yeah.
Set is so bad. Like this is now a Magic set. Like you're not going to open up, especially because this is going to be the new thing with Fab, right? If you don't want to build any of these three heroes, why would you buy Uprising? Why would you buy a box of Uprising?
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
the stores,
Unless you're just doing it to play sealed with your friends.
you could go to your store and play sealed.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you don't want to play any of these 3 heroes, you're not buying a box.
So I think
unless you're investing in it, in which case, like, why would you invest in the first wave?
Exactly.
Like,
if you're going to invest in Uprising, and honestly, now it's like if you're going to invest in like anything Flesh and Blood sealed box price, you need to do so in a year. Like when they are pumping the next, like we don't have another box until like the end of this year.
Today, about 5 minutes ago, I got a pallet of not Strix. I got Strixhaven and what's the other one? Zendikar Rising set boosters. Why? It's going out of print soon. I wanted some for the store. Baby. I got a pallet of them.
Yeah. Now's the time to buy those boxes.
Yeah, I got all mine. I'm set. Now is the time to buy them. Good call, Louis. Thank you. Good job. Don't message George. He's not selling them to you boo-boos online. Okay. Those are for George and his store.
Everyone message George and tell him he's a jerk.
It's fine. I'm on to 1K. Yeah. But like, that's gonna be what Uprising is. Like if investors are really trying to buy their bags for the first wave, they're jerks. Like, let this stuff go to the players. It's also like why are you gonna have money sit dead for a year?
This is the first set, in my opinion, that we will see the true demand for Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. Yeah, so. I think that's right. I think, listen, I have been very supportive of this model of one box. I remain it. I think that it's good they increase the legendary pull rate a little bit, which they've done it more, but that's good. I predict that this is going to be a good transition for Fab, in that I think that the new boxes make a lot more sense than the old boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a distributor dumping Everfest first below our initial cost last week.
I bought boxes 2 weeks ago, and they were $12 less last week.
Mega dist. Like the old model didn't work.
Of which I asked for like a lot of boxes and got allocated 11% of what I asked for on Everfest, and then now they have boxes and they're willing to sell it to
and they're dumping them. And they're totally dumping that distro is dumping every Fab box and every Metazoo box. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I love everything about this business.
I told my rep, I said, I would yell at you, but instead I'm just going to buy more Everfest.
I did not buy more Everfest.
I did.
Enough Everfest.
YOLO, baby. YOLO. Listen, my life is all in on Flesh and Blood. If this doesn't work, then I got to find something else new. So all in, baby. Cards on the table. When I didn't get allocated, which never happened.
Please go buy his boxes, captainsmarket.com.
When I didn't get allocated, I was like, my initial thought was like, my gut dropped. I was like, oh gosh, like now I have to now
I have to do what George does every set.
No, now I have to have the money to pay for it.
George has to do that every set too.
And so then I was like, oh no, like this is good. Like this is, for me, this is the stress test of the channel. Like, is this, our
whether or not he does one more videos, up to whether or not you go to captainsmarket.com.
Not like that, but is this really sustainable as like a life?
All right, good. This is the best. This is the best segment ever.
No, that was good. I'm being honest with my people, man.
That's great. I'm glad.
Pre-release thoughts. My pre-release was great. We had 12 people. Everyone loved it. I gotta say I think the pyramid of it's pyramid scheme. Inside jokes. The rock paper scissors nature of the set for our pre-release was kind of not super fun. Like in my location and my store, Jomai beat Islander beat Phi, and Phi beat Jomai. That's just kind of what it was. The person who won played Jomai, and he played 4 Islanders, and he went 4-0. So like it's just kind of like one of those things. But everyone had a good time. Everybody enjoyed the set.
How many cold foil fables were pulled at your pre-release? Just
2.
Asking. What?
Yeah.
No, you're lying. You had none. You're none. Compete Sport had one, baby. Shout out.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
I know. James White loves me.
That's true.
I know. So I played in my pre-release.
Good job. Did you learn how to read? Did you buy the book?
I bought the book. I was stunned by how different this game was compared to like what I normally play.
Yeah.
Not in a good or bad way.
Normally you play WTR.
So I played Briar, I played Bravo.
Yeah.
Like there is not a hero in this set with training wheels, which is the Georg special, by the way.
I don't agree with that.
What's the training wheels hero? I said him or her. I played them.
Not touching that.
Inclusive. I played them, and I thought Briar was and I played them and Alien, and that song Alien by Katy Perry is so good, by the way. And I did not feel the training wheels like I did with Briar or Bravo.
So I think
I get it was the easiest. I also think it's a lot more like I played 5 games, I think 6 games. And like my first game, I was like, oh, this is like rough. Like I couldn't do anything. It's because I built a bad deck. Then like the second time, I like things just happened. It was great. I had the turn I wanted to have. And I was like, okay, like you're going to have to build your deck better than put all the cards that you can legally have in your deck this time.
Yeah. I'm laughing at my next statement. Sorry, continue. I'm trying to listen, but I'm laughing at what I'm going to say next. Continue.
Where's Mick? Like, I don't think it's good or bad. I think it shows like where Fab is heading. Right, Fab is going into a more. I think they want less players and more complexity and more advanced players and more competitive players. And I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. I did feel that. I thought it was a very fun set. I got totally wrecked. And I mean, like, Louis, I'm used to losing. I'm semi-pro, not all the way pro.
What was it? It was
20,000.
20,000 professional players.
I'm like the 20,000 and first best player of Fab, I think.
That article in the history of Flesh and Blood, there's never been something that I love more than that article.
That's facts. And like, I got wrecked. I wasn't close. Yeah. Like, of all my games, I won 1 game, no big deal.
It was your buy, right?
It was a buy.
Yeah.
Classic
other George statement.
Yeah, and the other games were just like, what's going on here? Like you know, he's like, well, this dragon hits you. You can attack this dragon, but you can't attack this dragon. This dragon has this multiplier, comes in for 2 1/1s. I'm like, what is happening here?
So I think my response to that is yes, I agree. I'm going to get roasted for this. I'm going to do it. Roast me, comment section, help the algorithm. I don't care. I played Islander, whatever it is. And first game, about halfway through the game, I was like, oh, sorry, I screwed up. I didn't realize that the blue card had to be in my arsenal for me to play it on your turn. And so I like gave him like 5 life where we could like calculate what it was. And like, mind you, like I should have known that. Like that's reading the card.
I'll get you a book to help you.
Then playing against Dramai. Here's where I think you're right. Is like playing against Dramai. I had no clue what was happening.
Couldn't follow the thing.
I did. And like I've been following spoiler season. I've been looking at kind of how things play. And like in the actual moment, like it was just really hard to, and mind you, like I was also running the tournament and that kind of thing, and Gem didn't work. So there was like all this
rash.
There's like all this stuff, but like it was hard to follow. But then, you know, like, Islander starts with 18 life, and like 3 people in my store like kept forgetting that they started with 18 life and not 20. There's just like all those things that you have to know that add on to it. So I agree that it's certainly more difficult than WTR, but I did have I had 3 brand new players play who had never played.
We had a lot of new players, but it's our transition. So I guess we ought to expect that. Like, we get new players every 3 months.
Let me finish my sentence, Boo Boo.
Go ahead.
One of who played his first game of Magic the Gathering 2 weeks ago. he's been hanging out in the shop. He's a great guy. He listens to the podcast. He
What's his
started
name?
at podcast number 1 and has been watching in his spare time all the way through here. So
Am I his favorite?
I think so. I'm guessing that you probably are.
Makes
But
sense.
the point is that he played Commander, and I said after the event, I was like, "Hey man, what did you think about Flesh and Blood?" He's like, "Oh, it was good." I was like, "Did you feel like you could follow?" He was like, "I followed it a lot better than I followed Magic." And to that, I was like, "What?" That made zero sense to me. But then as I continued to talk to him, the idea came up that like he had started with Commander and there was all these mechanics, and every time he played against a different hero or a different commander, it was different mechanics, and so there's just a lot more to pick up. Whereas here you're, at a pre-release, you're just playing with 3 heroes, and that was a good counterpoint in my mind about that, because I definitely get negative about the complexity of Flesh and Blood, because I was there with WTR and all of my community started. I started with WTR.
Crew. You started with Crew.
No, you're wrong. I started with WTR Unlimited. So
that's different, just so you know.
No, it was
that's
Crew
different.
First edition, but like the heroes that I started with were WTR.
I started with Pokemon's first set. I'm talking about evolutions.
It was just a statement. So like I compare it to that in that learning curve, and I would still say the best way to teach anybody how to play this game is with WTR. And I think LSS would say that. That's why they did classic battles. So like I don't know. I wish it was a little bit easier. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say it's too complex now, but I think the game wants to be a competitive and complex TCG. That's what Flesh and Blood wants to do. I think WTR, ARC, and Crew were training wheels to prepare us for the talent system, and we all have to handle that however we want to handle it.
I think my takeaway was that you're going to have to commit to Fab.
100%. Yeah. You can't just like come and go.
You can't dabble your toes into that set.
Yeah, this is a game that you have to be all in on, and that's what they want. That's what they want.
I did
Look
like
at
that Icelander. I did like that Icelander mechanic. The reveal the blue ice from Arsenal when it comes instant. I thought that was pretty cool.
So I think if you look at what they are doing,
I didn't know that was one of their abilities. So I was playing. He's like, I'm playing this. I'm like, the F you are, son. It's my turn. And he was like, no, it's our turn. I'm like, MF, I will end your life.
So
I'm really fun to play against because I have no idea what I'm doing. I always like start off with like, hey, FYI, if I'm cheating, it's unintentional. You just gotta tell me, hey, fatty, take it back, and I'll take it back, and that's cool. And like we can be friends, and like. Yeah. And I have no problem losing. I prefer to lose, to be honest. So like it's always very. I feel like I'm always very fun to play against because like I'm very chill. So
and there will be 2 responses to that. One response will be, "Oh, that's great, George." Blah 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 blah. The other response will be super negative and like. If you're playing the game, you should know how to play, and
Yeah, they can leave a comment below, and I won't read it.
Here's my point, though. I want to respond to that because I do think that's valid. I think the place that you and I come from is that we both want Flesh and Blood to be wide, right? We want as many people, and I selfishly want as many views on my YouTube channel. If you would have told me when I started this YouTube channel that in 3 years you'd have 10,000 subscribers, I wouldn't have started the YouTube channel. Like that was never the goal. Like the goal of starting this YouTube channel,
Logan Paul.
The goal of starting this YouTube channel was like, I want to be involved. I want to go all in on a new TCG that I feel like is going to take over the Magic the Gathering world, right? I want the game to go as wide as possible. Did you see the fake playmats where they took the playmat and they just made it really, really wide?
No, that's really funny though.
Yeah, but like I want Flesh and Blood to be a wide game. I think what I am personally learning, and I think what a lot of other people, because I get this comment a lot in messages and stuff, is that Flesh and Blood isn't trying to go wide; they're trying to go deep. And if you look at the tournament scene, and I had a conversation with a couple of the people who are really involved in the tournament scene. I was like, "What are your thoughts?" And they were like, "I'm exhausted. Like I don't know if I can go to nationals because I want to go to Worlds in November, and I can't go. I couldn't go to Vegas because I went to this event, and they feel like Flesh and Blood wants you to go to every single event. We had this event and that event, and like that's not who I am. I can't go that deep, and I think this weekend was like a stress test of how wide can Flesh and Blood go. I think there's pros and cons to that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I think it's an interesting thing. That was my only point.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see competitive communities and more competitive Magic the Gathering people come into Flesh and Blood with this set than any other set, in my opinion. Because it plays more like Magic the Gathering than anything else in the history of Flesh and Blood, and that's going to be important. The question, though, is will you see more people coming to the game as opposed to if you had something more similar to WTR that was easier? That's my only thought. So it's super interesting. Yeah. Anyway, we good?
Yep. Go ahead. I guess I send this invoice out to somebody. Got my pallet today. Go ahead.
Bill them, baby. Make your money. All right. I want to talk about Double Masters, Double Trouble. I want to respond a little bit to Rudy's video. I'm sure, George, you didn't watch it. I watched it like 20 minutes before we were shooting this, but Rudy did a video today where he was basically like, Double Masters in Commander Legends is the biggest bait and switch of any Magic history. And I was like, oh, I feel that like on a personal level. And here's their point, and this is a point that a lot of
why are you doing enough stuff to make me attack Rudy? What did I do to you?
We're not attacking Rudy. We're talking about
you're gonna make me attack Rudy. You're gonna make me attack him. I can feel the bait. I can feel the bait. Rudy, I love you. I don't know what Louis is about to spin in his web of lies, but I still love you. Go ahead, Louis.
So if they had taken 10% of the spicy Double Masters cards and put them in Commander Legends, you would have been so wrong about Commander Legends.
Okay. So what? They didn't.
But they didn't. What they did is put all the good cards in Double Masters. They gave 1 million boxes of Commander Legends. And now they're saying, now they're not, like, the allocation on Double Masters is going to be horrible. And boxes are going through the moon.
Okay. There is like 10,000 things you just said that are wrong.
Okay. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
So first, like, as has been well documented, I knew that Commander Legends would be a disaster. Didn't know how bad of a disaster.
It's horrible. I opened up 3 collector boxes yesterday, and I got 1 dragon.
Not great. Not great.
Dragon.
How's that EV looking? You should do an EV tracker for this set.
I should do a burn it all to the ground. I should burn all my Commander Legends boxes.
But I thought that because, like, I don't think the D&D thing is working.
Yeah, the D&D thing can never happen again.
It will because going back to Vista Fox's thing, is there one IP that they have that they're using? They're going to have to do it again,
and they ruined it.
Of course they did. It's what
who would buy another D&D box?
No, like everybody's going to be like, the problem is the next one could be insane.
Yeah, just dangle that little carrot.
That's what they do. I don't care. I don't sell Magic online. I don't care what the heck y'all buy. Ain't my business. I don't sell anything online.
You sell Commander Legends online. You dump the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, like a mother. I dumped that as hard as I could. I want you to know, never felt better about a decision in my life. That was disastrous set. Okay, first, so let's talk about Double Masters, because I think there's a lot of misinformation. Every distro has told me there's 2 waves. The first wave will be insanely tiny, especially for collector boosters, which I think is a terrible name for 4 packs, but that's okay. I think
it's the opposite.
You're wrong, because Watsy said
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What?
It's draft boosters that are...
No, you're wrong. Okay. Watsy sent the email out.
Yeah. Okay.
Watsy sent the email to the stores. If you checked your store account, you would know that.
Don't even start.
Just saying.
George.
Just saying.
I don't want to get it. George got an email from a very important game creator once, and he complained to me that they weren't emailing him. And then I said, have you checked for like weeks? He was like, they haven't responded. They haven't emailed me. And then I was like, have you checked your store email? And he's like, oh.
No. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do something. That's true. That's true. That's a true story. That's a true story. But Watson sent this email to Source saying that there was production issues and the first wave will be tiny. I can't imagine them saying that without there being a second wave. Like they said first wave. And also, like, every single distributor has told me there's going to be 2 waves. The first one's going to be ugly. I guess everybody messaged me last night about this Rudy video. And I just told them, I said, like, listen, like, I don't know. Like Rudy unquestionably has better sources than a fat man in a Hawaiian shirt on America's favorite TCG podcast.
Rudy should just come on our podcast and then he can tell us.
No, we got Magic Story next week.
I thought you just said that you screwed up the days on that. And
I got to move my date. I have memorial service.
Now we don't know if he can
do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My friend died. I apologize, Louis. I'll have his family send you a note. Jesus Christ. Sorry, my loving husband's untimely death affected your podcast, Louis. Love, grieving family.
Listen, I'm not getting this with you. I'm not getting into it. Continue.
It's not as serious as a basement flooding. I'll concede that.
Okay.
So the second wave.
You're the worst. You are the worst.
It's not as important as like celebrating the 1 week anniversary of starting a new employee. Like I'll concede.
You're the worst. If I was in a room with you.
Like I don't know. Like so. I mean, like the second wave, I think will be big. Here's what I will tell you guys. I don't think they're going to short print I definitely don't think they're going to short print draft booster boxes in the long run. In the long run. In the year plus time horizon.
I don't either. I don't think they're going to short print anything. I think they're going to print the hell out of it and give it to Amazon just like they did with Time Spiral.
Oh my God, stop. Like
that's what they're doing.
That's what they like. I'll agree that's what they might do.
That's what they did with Time Spiral.
Yes, that's the last time they did that, boo-boo.
Yeah. Okay.
That's been a year and a half.
Well, I'm still hurt.
Like, I get it. That was a crappy move from a company I don't love.
I don't know.
But like, here's my point to this. Here's my point to this. You're going to see draft boosters, I think, at $500. I would not buy it at that price. Now, I will warn that our cost on this is sky high.
That seems silly. When a Ultimate Masters box is $450, there's a line there.
They're selling for $350 all day long right now.
That's silly. That's too high. I agree.
That's I think $300, $350 is a fair price for this box. Our cost is not like that's my normal profit margin is how I'll phrase it.
Yeah, that's for you in store. Your boxes in store are different than online.
Yeah, I have to like pay for the lights and shit. It's like once you've been open for a couple of weeks, you'll learn this.
I hate you. I think there's a line. That line is probably like 400. No,
that's crazy talk. And here is the other reason I don't know why this surprises anybody. This is exactly what I predicted was going to happen, by the way. This is a test to see what the market will bear.
Everyone's going to buy it.
And that will exactly.
And everyone's going to buy it from Amazon.
And
they're already doing it. It sells out every time they put boxes on Amazon. It sells out instantly.
Jeff Bezos, you did this.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos, come on the podcast and defend yourself, you coward. We'd love to have you.
I'll tell you what I want. This is what I want. Special May the Zoo be with you episode. Jeff Bezos versus Logan Paul in a cage match.
Do they hate each other? Like,
no, we like. I don't know. We kind
what
of
was the name of that claymation show on MTV that was so good? That claymation fighting show.
Here's what we like. We like the idea of Logan Paul on the algorithm for the channel, and we don't like Jeff Bezos. I think we can all agree on those things.
Okay.
Leave a comment section. Leave a question. Oh wait, no, this is good. This is high quality content. Leave a comment in the comment section.
This is content.
Who would win in a fight? Logan Paul, and he's just boxing, cage match style, and Jeff Bezos
boxing in a cage match.
Sure, it's Logan Paul and Jeff Bezos, but he gets like $1,000 to spend on Amazon on any equipment he wants. Who wins in a fight?
So this set being so good shouldn't surprise us because it's a test to see will the market bear a $300 booster box. And the answer is now obvious.
Yes.
Yes. So guess what they're going to do next year, boys and girls?
There's so much money in Magic. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Guess what they're going to do next year for all of you? A $500 booster box.
So I think
they're going to keep going until the market rejects it. It's that simple.
Here's what people.
This is a market test. The market has failed us and succeeded for WotC. Never could have seen it coming.
Here's what people are sleeping on, in my opinion.
Okay,
you're gonna hate this. You're gonna hate it so much. You're gonna hate this so much. The collector.
You say
boxes.
Pokemon, so help me God.
No, the collector box. Everyone, because the draft box is selling out everywhere. Everywhere I see draft boxes are going up in price, and everyone who's talking about it says that the draft boxes are the ones that are being short printed and are harder to get. The collector box is cheaper than the VIP packs were, pack to pack basis. You get the same. True. Yes, it is. You're wrong. There VIP box.
4 packs in the collector booster, right?
Yes, and the VIP box had 1 pack in it.
Right.
It was $80 to $100.
Oh, I see. You're saying the collector box is cheaper. I agree with
you. Yeah. You were wrong, and now you're admitting that I was right. That's exactly what just happened.
I don't know when we can do the podcast when you're not cranky anymore. If you're cranky all day and all night,
the most energetic I've been on a podcast for months.
That's true. I do. Yeah. I do appreciate the energy coming back.
That's what happens at 11:30 when we do the podcast.
So got my V9 energy. Let's roll, baby.
God, our kid didn't sleep at all last night too. Anyway, I skipped my morning run. By the way, I know I told you I was running this morning, but anyway, the VIP boxes sold really well at $80 to $100. These are sitting at $250 for collector boxes. You get 4 packs in. It's the same pull rate as actually it's better pull rate than the VIP packs were. Because remember the VIP packs, they had to give everybody draft packs in like a apology. That was great.
All right, I don't feel so. All right, restart it. I got a hot scoop.
All right, let's go. What we were talking about? We're not restarting the whole podcast.
No. They also get spoiled mana drain for double masters while you were out walking your dogs.
Yeah, I was checking the sudden link internet if people were here. They're incompetent.
And boxes are now $400 for draft boosters.
We just got our allocations. We got those.
Do not message George for boxes of double masters. That's the takeaway.
I probably needed to pull mine down off my website, to be honest with you.
Stop it. You were not selling it before you got your allocations.
I put some up. I put like 20 boxes up.
Buying them right now before you can take it down.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely crazy.
So like this goes to what we were saying before. Everybody is telling me there's going to be 2 waves. Y'all need to chill.
Yeah.
Chill. Okay.
Yeah, I think this set's gonna be super crazy. I hate that they do this crap. Like I hate it. I hate that they do this crap. I wish that they made it easier for people and stores to get stuff. I get that they need to like monitor it. Rudy is funny. Like I love how he tells every other TCG to lower their print runs, and the Magic he just wants more. That was like an interesting thing. But anyway, okay. We good?
That's it. I mean, like I see, Double Masters looks amazing. We obviously wish they would spread out the cards a little bit better. We obviously wish they would print more boxes. We wish LGS has got more boxes than Jeffy B. But like
best Magic set since last Double Masters.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. That was great.
All right, Charizards and Pokemon. We'll skip this.
No, you gotta talk about it a little bit.
All right, so Pokemon Go has a Charizard in it, and it'll be super interesting. It's not like something super special. It's not shining. It's what's that? Radiant Charizard. There's a Radiant Charizard, a Radiant Blastoise.
That's what they call me, by the way, Radiant.
A Radiant Venusaur. And this is gonna be a really good stress test, I think, to see how much is just the Charizard name worth in Pokemon. Because one of the guys that comes in all the time, he's in my store twice a week, trading in Pokemon cards, buying Pokemon boxes. He's like, yeah, I was really excited for Pokemon Go, but now I'm like not. And I was like, why? He's like, because the only Charizard in the set is the Radiant Charizard, and it's not anything like that special. So it's gonna be super interesting to see like how much does the actual just name of Charizard help the set, because usually when there's a Charizard, there's like the Charizard V Star, the Charizard V Max, or the Charizard Secret Rare or whatever, and now we just have like the Radiant Charizard.
I don't think that's gonna matter. I think this set's gonna do crazy.
Well, it depends on like how hard it is to pull too. The Mewtwo, I haven't been watching. I've been talking to people who have been watching box breaks on I guess so. This is crazy. A guy on Whatnot flew to Japan and is streaming on Whatnot the Pokemon Go set that comes out in 3 weeks in the United States to his US people. He's streaming on Whatnot, selling packs of Pokemon Go. How much do you think he's selling packs of Pokemon Go for and Whatnot?
$30.
For $25 to $35 on auction for like 8 hours a day, George.
God,
these are
everything wrong. We're doing everything wrong. You why are you watching this podcast? Like what like you've seen our lives and you think these are the two people I should listen to with my time? What, like, that says something bad about us and worse about you.
This guy flew to Japan. He's packed, mind you, the retail price of those packs is like $4.
Yeah.
So he's just in Japan like buying a Pokemon Go.
He can get a Grand Seiko there.
Selling them at like insane. And then when he gets here, he'll ship them out and, you know, everybody will lose all their money. Other than him.
Welcome to Pokemon.
So absolutely crazy. But the Mewtwo, my point here was he like opened packs for 8 hours. You know, I'm like, you're selling pack a minute, right? Like he's doing pack 2 packs a minute, or pack every minute, 2 minutes. He didn't pull a single Mewtwo. It's like,
really?
He didn't pull a single Mewtwo in like the 8 hour stream. Crazy. Absolutely insane. So
it's like golden. It's like the golden ticket of Pokemon.
The golden ticket. Yeah. What's it do?
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's Charizard. So it'll be super interesting.
Yeah. If you like Pokemon Go, this is your set. If you don't like Pokemon, this is not your set.
I think this set's going to be good for non-Pokemon Go people too. I think just people who like there's tons of cards. There's Charizard,
Pokemon
Venus
collectors. Like, listen, Pokemon sets do well because people collect Pokemon.
Yeah. And you were wrong about Radiance. Astral Radiance. It's doing better than
we've talked about this now 3 weeks in a row. I've already conceded I was wrong with Astral Radiance.
All right, let's do our Genesis spoilers.
Next week, I will also again admit I was wrong about Astral Radiant in case anybody was wondering.
Let's talk Genesis, baby.
I had the honor of interviewing Assad on a better podcast called The Bone Zone on Scheming Skeleton's YouTube channel, and he said the most insightful thing I think I've ever heard about new TCGs.
Oh, yeah.
He was all, these things come in waves. So like there was no games, Magic comes out and boom, there's this thing. It crashes. And like all of a sudden, like Pokemon comes out, boom, all these new games come up. All these crazy games, Hyborian Gates comes up. All these games come up with Pokemon and then boom, they all die. Except for Pokemon. And he goes, the thing that keeps him up at night is like the game that started the waves tend to survive. And the way this wave was obviously started by Flesh and Blood.
Interesting.
And he said this on the podcast. I'm not like ragging on him while pumping his interview. I thought that, and it's something he thinks about a lot. And I thought that was a totally fascinating way to view the market. That was a really insightful comment of his, I thought.
Yeah. I don't fully agree with it. I think there's the winners certainly are the ones who started it, but Yu-Gi-Oh's still here, and that started
another wave.
You think that was another wave or part of the Pokemon?
Yeah, he said this on the thing. He was like, when Magic started this wave, all these new TCGs come out, then Pokemon, then all these new TCGs come out, then Yu-Gi-Oh, then all these new TCGs come out, and now we're like with Flab.
I guess the other big loser in that was Digimon, which has had
died,
15,
which is as dead as My Hero Academia.
No, Digimon's super popular now, but it's a new game. It's it's died like 3 times and been resurrected.
Are you saying I should not be selling My Hero Academia right now because it's coming back from the dead?
Well, there will be a new Universes system that will be.
I'm out. They've now betrayed my trust. I've always learned the third set is when the games die. This one died in the second set.
We already did this. Okay.
No, you're editing it out before though. Come on,
no,
man.
I'm not. Keeping it in, baby. So I don't know. I think that's insightful. So that means that Fab is just the only one that's going to win.
That means Fab has the inside track, and it's something that he thinks about a lot. Is like, can these other games survive despite not starting it? And like, why is it the one that starts it tends to win it?
Market share.
And his way he's positioning Genesis is like to not compete on the directly in the TCG space, but create like this new genre of game, and that he can be that wave. And I'm like, that's smart. That's smart. Assad's so good,
and they're doing really cool stuff. So I was talking to Joey. Which I told Joey, I said I've seen more. Joey's the what's his role? Do you know exactly?
Who knows?
It's like creative, whatever. He works for Genesis. Creative. Yeah, we'll go with that. Congrats, Joey, on your new title, creative director.
You're welcome.
I told Joey, I was messaging with him. I was like, hey man, it's really cool to see you be excited about Genesis, because I feel like he's been more excited lately than he was when he first started that role, and I think that was important. He was talking about that they are really pursuing this, like the PvE side and the multiplayer formats really well, and I think it's going to really hit Warhammer players, and we've talked about that on the podcast a couple of times, where the game can really hit Warhammer because of the grid-based style of it and whatever. But he was also mentioning Dungeons and Dragons players, and I was like, oh man, that's sweet, because I have people come in all the time for D&D, and it's like, what do I sell them? Like, what do I do with D&D players? They maybe buy a book a year. You know what I mean? Like, there's what?
I sell a ton of D&D. It's like really? the two things I got most wrong on my store are dice and D&D. Nothing else is close.
I do sell a ton of dice. I don't
get it. I don't get it.
How many dice do you need?
You know this. I just paid a $20,000 dice order.
Yeah.
$20,000 of dice. How is this possible? And here's the trick. I made a $20,000 dice order like 4 months ago, and I sold it all.
That's crazy.
Who's buying this dice?
Anyway, so they're doing really cool stuff. And I think they're really pursuing a different demographic of people at an LGS who aren't involved in trading card games. And I think that's a really cool way to pull from a different demographic of people. And it's cool because, like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in an LGS and seen people playing Warhammer and gone and talked to them, because that's what I do. I talk to people. I like talking to people, and been like, tell me about Warhammer.
Like, do you think, or no?
No, probably not.
No.
And then been like, oh, that seems great, but like the learning barrier for me is just too high. Like to get into Warhammer, I've tried, it didn't work. The learning barrier is too high. It's too much of a commitment. But now if you see, like, it's Genesis is the perfect middle ground between those like war games and a TCG, and I think that's a really cool demographic. So they also sent us some spoilers that Assad was like, hey, I'm gonna send them to you instead of Louis, or I'm gonna send them to you insteid of George.
Because he did make the mistake of trusting you to send me stuff out in a timely manner. That is a good point.
I think it's because he likes me better. So there's my keys, and this is what I was playing with. It's a wrapper. Okay. So here we go. We got our spoilers, and so I got this yesterday, George. So I'm sorry that
nobody believes him. You got it like 3 weeks ago. He got my Zendikar Rising Collector booster box. It's popping your wife's car.
We got a tube for you.
You should probably open mine if it's a spoiler, so that we can spoil things at the same time.
Well, that's what we're doing, and it's the same card as our spoiler.
Okay, let's roll, baby.
We have the same card. So first, I want to show off what these are, and I'll open mine so that I don't damage yours, because I think they're the same thing. This is sweet, and they sent us both. This is what Joey put together. This is a foil poster that's printed on.
Oh my god!
Actual. Like it's like a uncut sheet, but it's a foil poster. Yeah, and it's
we were promised uncut sheets from Genesis, and we got uncut sheets from Genesis.
Yes,
that's how we do it. Good job, Joey. Good job, Assad. Thank you.
And this shows off the initial, like the way that the game has been battle tested. Oh wait, I should flip it upside down. Hold on, I'm gonna flip this way so people can actually.
It was fine for me.
Well, it's not about you. It's really cool. And shows the different variations that the cards have gone through.
That's really
super
cool.
sweet. Maybe we will post a link to the actual if people want to look at it. And it's like shiny, super sweet.
Can you buy that or no?
I don't know. I have no clue.
If not, they're missing out. Assad, start selling those, baby.
If you can buy them, Assad and Joey, put it in the description of our video or in the comment section. All right, here we go. We have a little letter. Should we read the letter?
It might be like, Louis, I wish you were half as good as George. May the zoo be with you.
Hey, Louis and George and Genesis and Haunted Castle have changed a lot in last. It's a lot of words.
It's a long letter.
It's a long letter. So in this letter, you'll find a special promo that we selected for you. I'm sure it says a lot of nice things about us, which is great. But in this letter, you'll find a special promo that we've selected for you to spoil on top of showing off your LGS promos. I wanted to show off our first samples of what players can expect in their box toppers with the Kickstarter box. That's super cool. Everyone will have their Kickstarter Electrical Storm promo. We don't have a copy for you yet, but that's not the spice. The first bit of spice everyone will get is a 1 of 32 different foil epic rares from Origins. In this package, we have given you Volley of Arrows. This rare is special because it's the first time we're expanding the standard 3x3 grid on the card's awareness. The third slot is going to be a random in the box topper. It might be another foil epic, a signed card, or sample printing, or it can be something that is much more interesting. To show off the real spice, though, I want to give you a copy of something that would never have happened if it wasn't because of you two. You two gave us the idea of making some serious chase cards in the Origins Kickstarter boxes. Because we went forward, we put pre-alpha card in 1 of 73 boxes. These cards are denoted by a different template, and the set symbol being JAE in the bottom left corner, on top of there being angels, purifying waves, and other iconic cards. However, you two get the opportunity to spoil the only alt art from the pool of pre-alpha cards. Enjoy sharing this card with your community. So
hold on, before you open it, let's talk about that for a second. Luke, when Assad talked to us about a Kickstarter, we were both we thought it was a great idea, and one of the things that I think one of the things that I think Genesis was lacking was this idea of like the card, the chase card, right?
Yeah.
And we said, like, listen, like, you got to, like, if you're going to sell boxes, like, because Assad is so player focused.
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, he play tests everything 10,000 times. He does all these things. Like, you know, he's great game. He's very player focused. And I was like, you got to find a way to make it so that collectors want to crack boxes.
Right.
Not packs, boxes.
Right.
And so we said, like, you know, what can you throw in to the Kickstarters to make it A, special, and B, like, really show these collectors that, like, this is worth cracking a lot of boxes. Because that's where your sales come from. Players don't buy a lot of boxes. They don't need to buy a lot of boxes. Collectors buy boxes. And
if you don't have collectors, then you don't have enough boxes opened, and then the player singles become too expensive.
Right. So like,
he's doing a really good job at finding that balance.
And like Assad listened to the criticism, changed, and like now we get pre-alpha cards, which are like the rarest cards in all of Genesis in our Kickstarter boxes. He said 1 every 72 boxes.
1 every 72, yeah. So
God, am I going to crack Genesis boxes?
1 out of 73, a pre-alpha card in 1 out of 73 boxes.
God, that might happen. That's really crazy.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do it?
I'm ready, baby.
All right, I gotta figure out what camera I gotta cut to again.
Oh my
God. It was 4. All right, sweet.
How many cameras do you have?
I have 5 cameras connected to my computer.
What?
Yeah.
I have 1
All right.
on my laptop.
So these are going to be 4 different cards, 2 of which are the cards that we will actually be selling, George. All right, this is oh wait, that's the pre-alpha card. Here is George's LGS card that I think we'll have a Metazoo be with you kit maybe that we do, that you get one of our cards at random or something. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but
oh god, it's like spoiler, George will be the case card, Louis will not be the case card.
Here's the George card.
That's amazing. Oh my god, it looks so old. That is like
that's Kato with the Hawaiian shirt and he's
holding the mic.
Yeah.
That's like me in 5 years.
Yeah. With way more hair than you'll ever have. And here's the Louis card.
Oh, it's your old room. I like that. That's back when you weren't homeless.
It's the same room.
It's like a memory. It's a trip down memory lane.
It's the same room. It's got the backwards hat and the kitchen table TCG hoodie.
God, the backwards hat is so obnoxious. That would be cool.
Love it. All right. But now here's our spoiler. This is Volley of Arrows. So this is the spoiler, which is the first time we've seen an extended grid in the game. So this is the first card that doesn't have a 3x3 grid, which is super cool. And this is the box topper version. So this grid is a 4.
God, that foiling looks amazing.
Yeah. It's 4x3. So you can see further, right? Yeah. So that's what this grid up here is. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 in the future, and this is an area range attack, so it deals 4 damage to everybody in your range in those red slots up there. So this is the first time you can see the Kickstarter logo is right there. This is the first time that you've had that kind of range on a thing, so you can sit back and you can shoot it over top of other players, you can shoot it over top of other enemies, and you're shooting a volley of arrows at your opponents. And this is the epic box topper rare, so super cool. Now this card of course is also in the regular packs for players.
That's not full art.
Yeah, it's not full art, it's not hollow, but this is that box topper rare, so super cool. A lot of people were really in our Discord server were looking at the they teased out the this like spoiler alert, and they were trying to figure out what it was, so pretty cool.
That's really cool. That's a really good
exploring some new space. Yeah, I like that. Like that's like where you have a lot of range with Genesis to like create different dynamics as a TCG.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so now this is the one of 73 boxes. We'll have a pre-alpha card in it. And I believe that I was told that this is a 1 of 1 card in here, George. So this card is a 1 of 1, and this is what these will look like if they are pre-alpha cards. So they have a different.
It's so different.
Yeah. So that's the bolt shot pre-alpha, and so that will have it's got different frame, and this is the only one that has a different artwork, is what they said. Copy really something cool. Never happened. Went forward. Pre-alpha cards, 1 every 73 boxes. So you two get the opportunity to bring the only alt art from the pool of pre-alpha cards, which is pretty cool. So bolt shot is the only alt art. So if anyone is interested in Genesis, definitely keep in mind that the Kickstarter is over, but we do have boxes of J2.
I just want to give I don't care about pumping your bags.
Not bags. It's just like if people are interested in learning the game.
I want to say like all seriousness, like this is why this podcast is worth it.
Yeah.
Working with people like Assad make it worth it. Genesis deserves about 10,000 times more love than it gets.
I agree.
And way like people don't talk about it because it's not Tendy Town.
Yeah.
And all it does this terrible sin of making a great game. Like, I get a call from a designer and they're like, I want to make a game. And I said, you're in a weird place because the thing that matters the least right now is how the game plays.
Yeah.
And Assad, to his credit, has fought that fight and said, like, over the long haul, having the best game, having a great game will matter. And I know I speak for Louis when I say we're rooting for that.
Yeah, and I would say that Assad has been incredibly successful too. He's got loyal players who absolutely some of the most consistent players in my Discord server are the Genesis players who play I think it's Wednesday nights that they play. They play every Wednesday night. There's like 6 of them. They're the same guys every week, and they like try to grow it and whatever. And like they are super loyal. They love it. They talk about the game and the Genesis side the whole time and whatever. So I think it's been successful in that also he has scaled it, and it has scaled really well. I mean, beta boxes at one time were, easy to get, and now they're $600, $500, $600
really?
Yeah. A beta box is worth more than a Crucible War First Edition box right now. Like it's crazy. Like they scale, but the print run was so small because the game was small, and that's what he is doing. He is gradually. We talked about the print runs last week. he's gradually increased the print runs, which has allowed him to be successful. So
we're happy for you, Assad.
Yeah.
We're happy for your Kickstarter. We're looking forward to getting it, and we consider you a dear friend.
Yes.
And you will always have one bozo and me in your corner.
Bozo and me. That's the name of our next podcast, and it's on my channel, and you're the bozo. All right, Assad, we love you, buddy. All right, let's move on to a final goodbye to Channel Fireball.
I want you to know, Louis, I'm very confused by this news.
Yeah?
I heard from geniuses on Discord that new games can't add new distributors or get out of Channel Fireball contracts.
Yeah.
And I don't understand this. Like, who do I trust? The bozos on Discord or Mike?
Yeah.
It's a mystery to me. I don't understand this. I was told this was impossible.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, you just gotta be willing to stand up for yourself. Yeah. Oh, that's different. That's different, I guess. I was baffled. I was told it was impossible.
Metazoo announced that they have discontinued their connection to Channel Fireball, and that Channel Fireball will not be selling any UFO boxes on Channel Fireball. And I qualified this with Mike. I asked him directly, does that mean that Card Shop Live also won't have boxes? And he said yes.
Yeah, they're dumping it as hard as they can right now, if that helps any.
Card Shop Live?
Yeah, they have the extra stock.
Of UFO?
No, of
old stuff. Yeah,
they're like dumping. Yeah. They're trying to kill Mike on the way out. It won't work. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to say a few things about this. First, good job, Mike.
Yeah, this had to happen.
I mean, like, listen, they tried to, like, I don't know if they intentionally are trying to kill these new games or if it's just like their business practice organically does so. But like, God, it's like hard to, like, it is like, do you know how hard it is to have a community yell at you for selling boxes too cheap?
Yeah.
Do you know how much damage you have to do for a community to be in uproar?
Not one community, two communities.
Yeah. Like I don't understand. Like I don't understand. Like, is he trying to kill the games? Is it just like the way like the business flow works? Like I can't figure it out. But that doesn't matter. Good job, Mike, getting rid of this company.
Does this mean we're finally done talking about Channel Fireball?
No, we got Fab still. And they'll never leave Channel Fireball. So no.
Interesting.
The other thing is, I want you to like, and this is like, I was very unhappy to learn that the Topps boxes might be weighed this week.
Yeah.
That was like, as somebody who got a case of them delivered a couple days ago, that was like a punch in the gut. Now, Mike says they're not weighed. I'm going to try to weigh my boxes, and I'll let you all know the results next week.
I just decided I'm not opening my box because I did that with Topps, and now they're, I did it with Vision.
Yeah.
Now they're essentially not sellable.
Okay.
So,
and every time I'm like, God, like they got to figure this stuff out. Like something like this happens, and I'm reminded that like nobody brings out more passion than Metazoo.
Yeah.
I got screenshots of basically every single game's Discord's moderators bashing Metazoo. Shout out to Sorcery and Cryptic, the two games that did not I have never heard.
Yeah,
they don't care. They're too busy working about their own game. They're too busy building their own games.
Yeah,
which is good. In Genesis too. I guess not. Joey shouts out Metazoo a little bit too much. But like, Sorcery and Cryptic don't care about Metazoo.
We like the beef between Genesis and Metazoo. That's our highlight of
favorite beef of 2022 by a mile. Keep going, Joey. Keep going, Mike.
I'm pretty sure it worked. Well, yeah, that's different, but yeah.
So, but like, I have screenshots of like this, of all these moderators and all these other games being like, I told you guys Metazoo sucks. I told you guys. And I'm like, you guys, like the fact that you're so passionate that you're not talking about your game, you're talking about a game that you tell people you hate is like their secret weapon.
Even content creators on video, it's like free advertisement for these games. It's crazy.
Well, it's also just like no other game brings out that passion. None. Yeah. Zero other games bring out half the passion of Metazoo, pro or against. And like that to me is like why I think like they've been able to overcome some of the challenges that they faced with things like the top boxes.
Right.
Because like like people care. Like there's nothing worse than like when something goes wrong and nobody cares.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody makes videos about it.
You know, and like that is why I still think like Metazoo, despite them having some challenges now, like, you know, the wilderness boxes aren't something they hope they would, etc. Like that is why I think they still have a good shot of making it.
Yeah. All right.
There's no passion like Metazoo passion.
I want to piggyback off that.
Okay.
To the
Piggyback,
next
baby. I'll carry you. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback off that, which is that there's a decrease in Metazoo spend. And this is, I think, objectively a statement. Like, this is not my opinion.
It is objectively a statement. That is true.
This is just a thing that is happening. There is a decrease in the amount of people I'm seeing it, and people talking about how many UFO boxes they're going to pre-order and that kind of thing. They are deciding to pre-order less boxes, and you're seeing this as a result of a few things. Some of the money for Metazoo was super speculative, and we haven't seen the market react to Wilderness like it did to Nightfall, and now Nightfall boxes are, you know, going back down in value as well. And so the speculative market is kind of going away. Now you're starting to see the true Metazoo fans, and this is what we're seeing in all TCGs right now. You're starting to see the true fans are the ones who are now spending the money, not the short-term flippers and that kind of thing, which is healthy and is a good thing. I think we all agree with that. But you saw this with Pokemon, and this is like way back. You know, Pokemon, they decreased their print runs. They decreased the amount of boxes because the demand flowed up and down. You know, if you look at like Sky Ridge, like those boxes, one of the reasons that those boxes are so expensive now and the singles are so expensive now is because they were shorter printed to the demand for the game was smaller at that point. And so I think this is going to be a super interesting dynamic over the next sets. I think UFO is the same print run at 100,000. I think it's going to be super interesting to see, does the demand dictate that the print runs just necessarily need to be
how to read
smaller in order to accommodate
necessitate if I were going for it, but go ahead. Doesn't matter.
Necessitate the decrease in the print run. I think it's gonna be super interesting to watch that. This is a difficult decision. I think this is the same decision Fab's in, which, you know, didn't get allocated. I think this is Rudy's been talking about this, that these games need to lower their print runs in order to, you know, see some success on the secondary market, because nobody likes to pre-order a box for $140 and it go down to $80. Pokemon people don't like that. I have people come in, you know what they don't buy? Fusion Strike. You know what I mean? Like, they don't buy Chilling Reign, although Chilling Reign's starting to pick back up, but they buy the sets that are already kind of pricey because that's what the market wants. So this is gonna be interesting.
I agree. Listen, like, I think Mike already said next time he's going to cut back on the auxiliary products, and I think that's where a lot of the problems live.
Yeah.
Like, like 100,000 boxes to me is like, you could argue it's too many. I think it might be, but it's in the range. It's not like he doesn't need to go to 50.
No.
Like the ones, like, there's just too many theme decks. There's too many release decks. And like he said, he's going to work on that, and that's fine. I mean, like, you know, I think we both want them to focus on the products a lot this year. Like, I think less products, more focus on the products is a good way to handle this year.
100% agree. I think 15 different Pin Club boxes and 15 different, like, you know, Tops boxes. And
I also don't get the Tops. Like, the Tops thing, I think it's like the weird one. I mean, like, how, like, I just got my Wilderness Tops boxes this week. UFO comes out like in a couple weeks.
I don't like the oh wait, what did you say, Tops or eBay?
Yeah, the Tops boxes.
Oh,
I just got them.
Yeah,
like they need to be printed.
Yeah.
Like
it makes me not want to do, like, it makes me not want to buy Tops UFO if I'm not going to get them until Seance.
I'm not going to buy any Tops UFO. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. This was my first and only Tops order from Metazoo at this point. Like, unless they can fix this.
Yeah.
And like,
I think that's a lot of people. This is why I think you have a decrease in spend, because you have things that aren't working.
I want to give a shout out to Stacks, who is Metazoo's #1 fan.
Yeah, 100%. I love that something negative
that.
happens and he's trying what?
The bozos that said like keep fudding to him. I want you to know.
Yeah.
Very rarely do comments make me angry.
Yeah.
Accusing Stacks of fudding Metazoo is both comical and infuriating.
There's
because
no bigger
like
fan.
This dude might have more Metazoo things than I have, and he might be the only one in the world.
Yeah.
And like he loves Metazoo. Like you can see in his poor face, like he hated saying that those packs were weighed. And like, but he was like, listen, I'm just showing you. Like, I'm not like I'm showing you that I'm weighing them. Like,
yep.
Like,
and like, you know,
anybody who thinks Stacks isn't a Metazoo fan, you need to look in the mirror and like go outside, touch grass. Like, and anybody, this is stupid.
And anybody who comments on it in the Discord saying that this is just FUD, it's just not accurate, it's not whatever. Like, he is I know this at a personal level.
Yeah.
Like, assuming the worst in a content creator and bashing about them on Discord, whether you are whoever you are, it doesn't matter who you are, is going to result in somebody like Stacks making less content for the game that he loves and the game that you want him making content for.
He came to my tournament. He went to Dallas to go play in the Metazoo tournament. He was wearing his Dimmock shirt. Like, you guys, he loves Metazoo. He was highlighting a problem to protect consumers, and I want to say thank you to Stacks.
Yeah, Stacks.
And screw you guys. Like, he it was a great video. Like, I hope it's wrong. He hopes it's wrong.
Transparent.
He said this.
Did it on video?
Yeah, he said this might just be bad luck, and Mike said it was. I hope Mike's right. I hope Stacks is wrong. And you know who else does? Stacks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna weigh my boxes. I will not sell the boxes that are light. Obviously, I won't say they're unweighed when they're weighed. I won't sell any of my boxes. I just open them all, to be honest. I got 100 of them.
Dang. Hope they're not weighable.
Absolutely. I have accepted my fate.
You think they're weighable?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Did you see Stacks' video?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're weighable. I hope Stacks either has literally the worst luck in human existence or they're weighable.
Well, no one's buying my boxes at my cost, so I might as well just open them too. See if they're weighable.
I mean, it's just and here's what I don't know. Is this a Topps problem or a Metazoo problem?
It doesn't matter to me.
It does matter to me.
No.
Hold on, boo-boo. Here's why that matters to me. Because if it's a Topps problem, Mike needs to call another card company.
Fool me once. Shame on.
Didn't you get fooled the first time and you got fooled this time too?
Fool me twice, and no. This is now a consumer problem. Which makes it Metazoo's problem.
Oh, I agree. I agree with.
You can blame it on whoever you want, but people are going to decrease their spend in Metazoo if they buy stuff and it comes back and it's not
stuff and that's good. I mean,
and it's not what they thought it was.
I hope. Here's what I hope. Here's my big hope for Metazoo this year. I think getting rid of Kino Fireball is a great step that maybe they're doing this. Cut back on the number of stores. Cut back on the number of products. Focus on high quality products.
100%
that people have incredible demand for.
And incredible experiences opening.
Yeah, because that's what makes Metazoo different. That to me is their secret sauce. It's listen, I don't care how cheap it is. Every time I pull a full hollow Akanto Dragon, I am stoked because I love the art. I love opening it. It's the only boxes I open. It's literally the only boxes I open. I hate opening boxes. I open Metazoo boxes.
I think regional promos are cool too. I don't what happened to the idea?
I think a Compete Sport promo would be an amazing idea. That's a great point, Louis.
I think the Rat King thing, although I think the price of the card is incredibly large and that the card shouldn't be good.
That's true.
But I think the Rat King idea was really, really cool, a really great promotional tool for everybody involved. And I think they talked about at one point having so we have the Mothman Museum, having a promo at the Mothman Museum where you have to go to the Mothman Museum to get that promo. I think that's fantastic. I think there's a bunch of those locations around the country that you could do promos at. I think all the promo stuff is fine. To me, it's the amount of products that they are selling. It just it results in a decrease in spend. You can't keep up with it. People like to have one sealed product of everything. They can't do that if there's a billion sealed products, and so then they just don't do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
So. Cool.
Overall, really, I think overall, really weird week for Metazoo. Really good. Really great news of getting rid of Channel Fireball.
100%.
Something I was told was impossible, and maybe a rough week on tops. I think, listen, Mike has a long-term vision for the game. Mike has a long-term vision for the products. And I think, listen, I've said this the whole time, you're ride or die with Mike. Mike either brings us to the moon or to the ground. You have to decide if you're on the rocket ship or not.
Yeah, and I'm all in on the idea of the video game and TV show being super important.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what will propel Metazoo to the next level. It's not going to be a rare box. If you print 40,000 boxes next week of UFO instead of 100,000, that's not going to bring the hype back to Metazoo. The hype's going to come from the next steps of this stuff, which is the movie.
That's how you're going to grow the base.
Which is going to be the TV show and the video game.
Yep.
Pretty easy. So
awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, that was May the Zoo be with you. Do we have anything else to talk about? I think that's it. That is it. That was last week. So hope you guys have a fantastic day.
Thanks Assad for the spoiler. I now feel like a content creator again.
We are. Oh my gosh, are we official content creators now?
I think we're official content creators for Metazoo, Genesis, Cryptic. I think we're gonna get there.
Yeah. Sorry,
we gotta get a Magic spoiler. That's what I really
want.
All
the games that are 10% of the channel. That combined to
they're 100% of my channel. If it helps any.
All right, everyone. Remember to be kind to the people around you. You do. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and may the zoo be with you.
And also with you.